And we're shifting our focus to some other breaking developments coming in, and this is a crucial reaction that's now coming in as far as the ongoing controversy over the remarks that had been made by Udhayanidhi Stalin on Sanatan Dharma. There is a reaction that is now coming in from the Tamil Nadu Chief Minister M.K. Stalin, who in fact has hit out at the Prime Minister. He's gone on to say it's unfair of the Prime Minister to make comments without knowing what Udhayanidhi Stalin said. He's also gone on to say, and I'm quoting from what the Chief Minister has said, Udhayanidhi expressed his views on Sanatan principles that discriminate against SC, ST and women with no intention to offend, I beg your pardon, any particular religion and their beliefs. So that's the big comment that's coming in from the Tamil Nadu Chief Minister M.K. Stalin, who's also now spoken about this ongoing controversy of the remarks that have been made by Udhayanidhi Stalin. Just giving better context to our viewers, remember Udhayanidhi Stalin last week had said, just like dengue and malaria, even Sanatan Dharma needs to be eradicated. And post that, multiple times when he's spoken to the media, he's gone on to say, I stand by what I said. There is absolutely no case of me apologizing. And now you're getting a reaction coming in from the Tamil Nadu Chief Minister as well, who in fact has hit out at the Prime Minister, saying that it's unfair for the Prime Minister to be making remarks on Udhayanidhi Stalin because nobody's actually understood the larger point that he has made. Let's first bring in our colleague Purnima Murli, who's joining us on the broadcast. So Purnima, first a reaction that comes in from A. Raja, who in fact supports Udhayanidhi Stalin and says that I feel Udhayanidhi Stalin was in fact a lot softer. Now this comment that's coming in from the Chief Minister, they're all in fact gone on to make the point that the original remarks of Udhayanidhi Stalin have been misquoted. But how have they been misquoted? We've heard him very clearly saying that just like malaria and dengue, Sanatan Dharma needs to be eradicated. Purnima, can you hear me? Okay, we'll try and re-establish that connection with our colleague Purnima Murli, but as I pointed out, that very crucial reaction coming in from the Tamil Nadu Chief Minister M.K. Stalin as far as this ongoing row is concerned. Let's try and re-establish that connection with Purnima. Purnima, if you can hear me this time around, I was asking first that reaction that came in from A. Raja, who in fact has gone on to support Udhayanidhi Stalin. Now this reaction that's coming in from M.K. Stalin, all saying that Udhayanidhi Stalin has been misquoted. But how has that happened? Because we've heard that soundbite very clearly, where he's gone on to very clearly say that just like malaria and dengue, Sanatan Dharma also needs to be eradicated.
Absolutely. In fact, M.K. Stalin says that it's unfair to blame Udhayanidhi Stalin and take his statement out of context. In fact, in the statement, he says that as far as the DMK is concerned, their ideals and goals are very transparent and clear, and that they need to operate under the motto of one plan and one God, and therefore the DMK and the 17 movement aims to uplift the backward and the scheduled and the tribal caste. Therefore, it's only unfair that Udhayanidhi Stalin's statement on Sanatan be taken out of context by the BJP, including Prime Minister Narendra Modi. So, Chief Minister has come out in support of Udhayanidhi Stalin and has, in a letter, said that DMK stands for respect for all religion, and therefore never ever will the party disrespect a particular religion as they portrayed by the BJP and the Prime Minister.
Purnima, I just want to go back to that reaction that came in from A. Raja a short while ago, and this is also problematic on multiple levels. At a time when you have the BJP training their guns not just at Udhayanidhi Stalin, but even at the HRNC minister asking for his dismissal, you have multiple reactions coming in from the opposition condemning Udhayanidhi Stalin. Why does the DMK continue to push this narrative, which is essentially now being seen as an anti-Hindu mindset?
Well, if you look at politics over the entire issue from the escalating, DMK maintaining its stance that Udhayanidhi Stalin never called for genocide as being portrayed by the BJP, and only said that he and his party and his party have time and again opposed Sanatana Dharma, and he only opposed the principles of Sanatana Dharma, and cited an example of how President Murmu was not being invited to the new president building inauguration. That also shows discrimination and what Sanatana Dharma stands for. Those are the kind of statements that we've heard from the DMK. However, if you look at the BJP says that eradicating Sanatana Dharma is indirectly referring to a genocide of those who follow Sanatana Dharma, and we've seen senior leaders of the BJP lashing out at M.K, while the allies of including the Congress have so far distanced and they are not directly supported Udhayanidhi Stalin in this regard. So we've seen politics escalating, and yesterday also the issue only escalated with A. Raja once again saying that Udhayanidhi in fact was soft, and that he also compared Sanatana Dharma to disease like a left disease. That's something that A. Raja said, which still did not go on well with the BJP. And in turn, the BJP had met with the governor today demanding that action be taken against Udhayanidhi Stalin. Caused the dismissal of the HRNC Minister Shekhar Babu, saying that he remained a news spectator when Udhayanidhi dismissed. So politics is going to escalate, both sides defiant, and this issue is going to be one of the key issues in the run-up to 2024 Lok Sabha.
Purnima, we'll just request you to stay on with us. We also want to bring in our colleague Shriya, who's joining us from our newsroom, to take us through that reaction that is coming from the Tamil Nadu Chief Minister.
Which has been sent by M.K. Stalin, and what he has to say is, while speaking at the Sanatana Eradication Conference in Chennai, he's bringing out the entire incident that has taken place, and then he has responded with a couple of strong points that he's made here, wherein he said that women with no intention to offend any religion or religious beliefs, even he expressed his views on Sanatan principles that discriminate against such people, scheduled caste, tribals, women with no intention to offend any religion. So he's saying the people whose defense Udhayanidhi Stalin had spoken for, and then he's mentioned couple of instances here wherein number one we have is, even as we launch Chandrayaan to the moon, some people continue to propagate caste discrimination, emphasizing social stratification based on Varnashrama principles, and citing citing Shastras and other ancient texts to support their sectarian claims. So what he is trying to bring out with this letter is, even though we are going ahead with missions like Chandrayaan, there are steps which are still pulling us backward. We are not still progressing there, wherein he is mentioned the caste discrimination mainly, and there are quite a few examples he's given, like the pro-BJP forces unable to tolerate Udhayanidhi Stalin's stance against oppressive principles have spread a false narrative alleging that Udhayanidhi called for the genocide of people with Sanatan thoughts. He has mentioned this, and he's attacked the pro-BJP forces for making that the narrative, for saying that Udhayanidhi called for a genocide of people. If the troll army of BJP spreads these lies, the responsible union ministers and state chief ministers who belong to BJP should have cared to check what Mr. Udhayanidhi has actually spoken before commenting on him. That is also an important point. And self-proclaimed seer from Uttar Pradesh, there is an instance he has brought in. A self-proclaimed seer from Uttar Pradesh burnt Honorable Minister Udhayanidhi's photo and even offered a bounty on his head. Did the Uttar Pradesh government take any action against him? So this letter has quite a few instances where he's questioned the government. Back to you, Ridhima.
Shriya, we'll just request you to stay on with us.